All right, welcome back. Another episode of In Green Bets. Coming off an outright winner in a big tournament too. I hit Justin Thomas. 17-1, I think, was the odds that I bet. I think you could get him higher by the end of the week, like 19 or 20. But huge win, awesome comeback. It wasn't like the most enjoyable golf tournament to watch. Like it wasn't. He ran them down in the sense that he came from 7 behind, but it wasn't because he shot 63. He shot 67, which was kind of like a 63 in those conditions. It wasn't like the most enjoyable, and it was kind of hard to watch Mito just like throw up all over himself there. But I wasn't complaining. I was a bit nervous about Willie Z in the playoff, particularly after he hit the green in 2 on the first par 5. But JT birdie, awesome drive and iron shot in 18. That was a wrap.
Yeah, I think it's just a prime example of how it is to win, to like close these tournaments out. It takes experience. It takes a little nuts. It takes a little like irrational confidence, right? Like a little bit of like that Scotty Scheffler. I don't really care that I haven't won. I'm just going to beat you. Like something like,
Right.
sort of that sort of Colin Morikawa obviously had it when he was kind of going through those first wins. Mito, unfortunately, just the stage was a little bit too big. The swing was hard to watch, just like kind of how he tried to saw it off and hit it down there.
He got to the top and was like,
"Yeah,
fuck, this needs to go left."
But it was still kind of cool to see JT win the second one. I mean, obviously he's now he's like a PGA, like it's only wins as PGA. So it'll be fun to see him like kind of go after that Masters or maybe even like a like a British Open this year, something like
US
that.
Open.
Yeah, even US Open. But I enjoyed it. I actually almost broke even if it wasn't for the margin. I was kind of living and dying by the margin this week. We ended up losing, but it was for your benefit to get JT in the playoff and win. So that's okay. We'll take that trade off. You had JT in your one and done. Also, I had Spieth.
I'm up to 34th.
Yeah.
I'm within striking distance of the money now. I just need one more like win, basically.
Yeah, I got too stubborn and took Spieth, and he still can't putt. So I'm going to tell everybody to good luck betting him this week because I am officially not doing it. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, he's going to win now.
Yeah, probably.
I started so bad in one, then I was going back and looking from API on. I've only missed one cut, and I have made 85% of my money, and that was like the first 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Since then, I've had like 5 top 5s. Could have won a couple, so we're trending. We're certainly trending in the one and done. Third outright of the year for me in 15 events since we've been doing the show. That's a 20% clip. I will take that for outrights. That's with JT choking bad at Pebble and a couple other close calls. We went 2-3 last week with Decky and Spieth. So good start to the year on that right side for sure, and roll into some big events here.
Our derivatives have been awesome lately too. Like we hit a bunch this week.
I've been hitting the shit out of them. I gained 5 units just on derivatives last week.
We've been hitting a bunch this week, or last week. So I'll be interested to see if we can kind of keep that going. If you start to mix that with some margins, with some matchups, you start to really get into accumulating some money. I know you said that you've kind of started stacking these weeks, which is kind of a nice feeling once you get 5
I felt really good about the last handful of weeks. I've had a really good feel for the type of guy. I think we nailed last week in the sense that it was like you just have to hit really good iron shots, and most of the player out there was a bunch of ball strikers, and obviously you had to putt good in conjunction with that. But like trying to predict putting is not really, that's a futile task pretty much any week. So I did terrible on head-to-heads. I had a 3-unit play on a Berger over Horschel, and Berger shot like 80 on Friday. And Horschel got to the weekend and then finished almost DFL. So if Berger could have just made the cut, it'd have been all right. But either way, good week, fun week. Let's keep it rolling. We're going to Colonial Country Club in Texas.
We got another hard course. We got like 2 kind of hard events back-to-back.
Yeah, and this one's hard for a way different reason. It's hard because it's super tight. It's like a super classic golf course, like really, really classic. Been there forever. Players like it. It's a hard challenge. You got to hit fairways. You got to hit greens, small greens. We've seen guys. Honestly, and this is kind of sucks. Makes it hard to predict a winner, but we've seen the guys who putt well win here. So Zach Johnson's, Kevin Knox, Spieth. And Kokrak putted his ass off last year when he won. So I'm certainly going to lean on some guys who typically putt well. Now, whether or not they'll putt well this week, and certainly a guy who's not necessarily a good putter could, his putting could pop, and we could do it that way. But guys who hit fairways, guys who are good iron players, those are kind of the keys for me. And then I'll take those guys and lean towards the better putters of that group.
Yeah, I think when I was kind of going through it is obviously the iron play was there, but the field has been elevated in these events. So it's almost as if we're getting a bunch of really good iron players. So it's kind of a given that a bunch of really good iron players are going to be up there at the top because the field is so strong, because it's such a it's not necessarily a big event, but it's like people respect it. It's obviously the kind of
it's been around forever.
Yeah, it's kind of
like a golf course people like to go to.
Yeah, PGA Tour event. We get so many good ball strikers, so many good iron players that it then turns into like a putting competition within that little group, right? So
kind of.
It'll be fun, and I know what Berger has been. He won this a few years ago. Harmon,
he broke my heart. I had Morikawa coming. That was the first event out of COVID. I had Morikawa at like 50-1 or whatever he was at that point, and Morikawa missed like a 3-footer in the playoff. He missed like a 6-footer on 18, and then he lipped that 3-footer the first hole of the playoff, and it was like, oh my god, like. I had a chance to start it nice, but I agree.
He's been good here both times he's played at Morikawa, so that's kind of shows you right there how much.
Yeah, we're gonna hop right in here, and because I want to talk about Mr. Morikawa. If we pull up the outrights, I don't know that like. I can't imagine betting JT. Maybe he rips off too, but I have to imagine he partied his ass off after he won that. So I don't know why he's even playing. But so there's a book out there. I think it's this one. Morikawa is 18-1. I am definitely considering it.
I am too.
He didn't play well last week, but he's not really a conditions guy from what we can tell so far. So maybe he gets a little bit better conditions this week. He hits a ton of fairways, so his bunting drives off the tee aren't going to kill him. I do think distance played a big role last week. If you look at the leaderboard, there was a bunch of guys who hit bomb drives. Pereira hits long drives. Cam Young, JT hits it far. Zalatoris hits it far. All those guys hit it pretty far. Answer and Webb were kind of the only ones that were up there that aren't necessarily bombers. This week, it's not going to matter. It's actually the opposite. You got it. Being in the fairway is way more important than hitting it far. There's a lot of dog legs, so it kind of negates your ability to even hit it past the other guy because you got to hit to the same spot. So I'm not touching Scotty, JT, or Spieth mostly because of their numbers. Spieth obviously intrigues me, but his putter's so bad. I'm not going to do it. But definitely Morikawa at 18.
Yeah, I like the Morikawa at 18. If you, for some reason, don't like it, I do think there is an argument to bet JT again at 12. When he won the PGA his first time, he went on, I think he got he got his next two events, he got 5th and 1st. So it's not like he can't do this. And if that's kind of the spin you want to do it on, I think he would be the play at that top. But for us, I think we're both on the same page that it should be Morikawa based on his past history and just the demand for approach shots.
Yep. I Morikawa, of the guys under 20, he's the only one that I would consider betting. I'm not on Vic. I don't know if Vic can putt good enough to win this. Morikawa, he's not that much better of a putter than Vic, but his ceiling, his streaky weeks are way better.
Right.
He's more feast or famine, which for him is great because when he's awesome with his putter, he just wins.
It's like a rap.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So instead of just being average all the time, he'll take the super high, super low because even when he putts like shit, he can still top 20 some weeks. But when he putts awesome, he wins. So he's the only guy under 20 that I'm interested in.
He should be looking for a bounce back too, right? I mean, he should have some sort of motivation to kind of come back. He feels pretty comfortable here based on his last performances. He should kind of get that more of hey, I'm still calling Morikawa vibe, you know?
Yes. This is the type of tournament where he just shows up and whoops ass. What are your thoughts on this group under 30 here? Zalatoris, Homa, Burns. All three guys played really well last week. Homa and Burns are, I think, both top 20s. Zalatoris obviously lost in the playoff. I think Zalatoris is super motivated. That's like the only thing that scares me. If he comes out and it's just like hell on wheels, like.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think this is a Burns course.
He
right?
Well. He puts his ass off.
Well, but it's not like he's like throwing darts all the time.
So
Homa hasn't been below 30, and fucking when was the last time we ever saw that?
I know. So
I don't think I'm interested in that. I'd much rather take Zalatoris, I think.
Burns 6th in putting over the last 24 rounds, 25th in approach. So those two numbers are obviously key.
Yeah.
15th in opportunities gained. So he's hitting it close, but 107 in fairways gained. And Burns, when the driver gets going sideways, it's like a miscut. Like if you remember at like final round at Players, I had him. All of a sudden the driver went away, and it was like I don't even know if he can break 80. Like when the driver's good, he's really good, but when it's bad, he's really bad. So I'm not going to be on Burns. I definitely am considering Homa. I think 29 is the lowest. If you look here, obviously
like the opposite of
awesome.
Cam Smith, where Cam Smith can hit it out of bounds and still make pars and stuff. Like it's like he does that kind of stuff.
Homa obviously putting good, approach is unbelievable. Proximity is good, gaining on par fours, making a bunch of birdies. Around the green stuff, it makes me a little nervous, but I think at this course you can hit a bunch of greens if you put yourself in good spots. And he is playing super, super good golf. So
I'm all in on this Homa, but I don't really think we should be buying this number. Like this number, we shouldn't be reaching for this number. Like we should maybe wait. Wait for it cools off.
If you think about it, though, he's got 4 fucking wins.
Yeah, he does.
He's got 4 wins. Vic has like 2 kind of wins. Zalatoris has 0. Fleetwood has 0. Finau has won once in like 10 years. Abe's got 1. It's like he should probably be priced that low. Books are probably tired of getting beat at 50 on Homa. I probably won't bet him at 29. I like there's a bunch of guys I like from like 30 to 60.
Yeah.
So I'll probably leave him off. I'll definitely leave him off if I bet Morikawa. But he's the only guy of those 3 that I would consider betting. I don't think Zalatoris' putter still. I know he putted his ass off last week, but outside of majors, he's never putted like that. I'm not really sure what the deal is there, but down in the 30s, this is where I'm starting to pick on some guys. I love Fleetwood this week. He fits perfect, but no way I'm betting him to win. He doesn't win shit, but he did cash a top 20 for me last week, so he may get another top 20 bet from me this week.
I like Abe here. I think that this is an easy start with Abe at 32 or 40.
So
yeah.
Let's go to look at DraftKings. So Abe's at 40. Love it. He's played 2 back-to-back top 15s here.
Plays out of the fairway all the time. It's all he does. Yep. Good iron player when he's hot. Yeah, he has streaky weeks, but when he's good, he's good. And he's got the skill to, putt. We've seen him win an event. I like the 40 number. That's pretty good for a guy coming in with good iron play.
Yep. So I considered, obviously, Berger always like draws me in just because his statistics are so good. I mean, obviously he was bad last week, but I'm not going to bet him. I thought about Kevin Na. I think there's a 40 out there on Na. I'm not going to bet Kevin Na. I don't trust him. Kokrak and Gooch, neither of them are putting good enough for me. Sungjae's coming off COVID, or at least a COVID exposure. Not going to bet him. The guy that I like with Abe here is Webb. I know Webb's been basically shitty until like the last handful of weeks, but I know Webb's he's going to be in the fairway. He's going to hit good irons, and he's been perennially one of the best putters on tour. Solid across the board last week, top 20. Some improving finishes.
Yeah.
Not great, but improving. and I know he can win if he gets in the hunt.
We just haven't seen him put together 4 rounds in so long.
Nope. But he's the other guy I would consider. He's not a guarantee. Abe. I'll for sure bet. Webb is on the maybe list for me.
Harmon's a guy I like, but not for a win. He'd be more of a 20.
Yep. Woodland is the next guy that I like at 50. He's been really good here. He played well last week. He's been playing some good golf. Another long hitter who has performed well on shorter courses because he has no qualms about hitting it in the fairway and moving on. His numbers are pretty good. He popped pretty high in my model. And I don't mind the 50. 10th in approach, 30th putting. Proximity numbers are good. Par 4 numbers are good. I kind of like his upside.
Can you check Fanduel for Davis Reilly for me? He's 50 here on DK. Although Davis Reilly's not a crazy iron guy.
48.
Okay, so I'd rather take the 50. That's still probably a little low. But his last 3 finishes, 5th, 9th, and then 13th last week at the PGA. He gained 6.4 on approach. He gains off the tee almost every single week. So that not necessarily he won't be hitting bombs, but he'll at least know his ball striking will be putting him up there, giving him opportunities.
Yeah.
And if you can kind of ride that approach, he would be somebody in that range. I would much rather have him at 60 or 70 because 50 is a little low. But
yeah, he's been playing really good though.
Yeah, he might be more of a matchup guy, but I do like him.
Finau's been kind of trending, and he's been awesome at this golf course.
Finau wasn't fast.
I'm not gonna bet him to win because that's just nobody's lost more money or nobody's been worse to outright bettors in the last 10 years than Finau probably. But Xander,
yeah,
I'm looking at you, Xander. What about Mito? What's his bounce back like? He seemed like he was in. I'm sure Sunday night sucked, but he seemed like he was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't even have been in that spot. I can't believe I was in that spot. And it sucks that it didn't happen, but that would have been a shock.
Yeah, I'm not buying the Mito bounce because I agree. He almost saw it as hey, that was a huge success for me anyway. I don't think it gave him this fire of I'm going to go win an event now. I think it was just more of holy shit, that was cool. That was really fun. It sucks.
Cool till it wasn't.
Yeah, it sucks that I choked my nuts off, but I would much rather bet him at 80 or 90 in some event rather than betting him down here at 50, especially in a field like this. There's some pretty good players here.
I don't know that we're going to see him below 65 anymore.
Really?
Unless it's a super field.
Yeah, but we don't think he's just going to keep finishing in the top 30 every week, do we? He's going to have bad finishes. He's not it's not
he's not super consistent, but his ball striking is plenty good enough to be to go on one of those Seamus Power type of runs where it's oh man, he just went on 8 top 20s in a row.
The issue is
look at those numbers. His putting is horrible though.
He got a little bit more popular in the public this week. So now he'll start to see more.
7 out of 8 top 30s.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. He's going to start seeing more action, though, because people are going to start betting him because they know who he is and they know he's a good ball striker. So that, unfortunately, will pull his numbers down.
His tee to green is
amazing.
Really, really good.
Yeah. It's just that
if he could just – last week was the week. He found it with the putter, and – I know he choked us on the last hole, but he kind of played like shit the whole day and just bailed himself out enough times to still be in the lead, and no one came and got him that was close enough, and he was just in the lead because nobody else caught him, and he was just bailing himself out all day. So,
if they would have had easier conditions, he might have lost by 3 or 4. He might have got smoked.
Yeah. Kirk will be popular. I will not be betting him outright, but I do like his statistics for here. He certainly fits really well.
I don't think that's a good number at all.
No, it's not a good outright number remotely. He's a perennial get in the mix, choke your face off.
Much rather take Munoz here at 60.
I like Munoz at 60. He will probably make the card. I like Hoagie at 70. His ball striking numbers have been super, super good. I'm willing to take a chance on his putter. more than I am Chris Kirk. Tom Hoagie at least has a fucking win.
Yeah, Munoz was 7th in ball striking, which, stroke game par 4 just in general, right? We talked about that all the time. He's 17th. Good drives, he was 10th. Munoz is really, really high up there in my model. I wouldn't mind betting him again this weekend. I know we saw him. What was that?
Third here last year for Munoz.
What is that event that Munoz just lost? Didn't he just lose one?
Yeah, that was
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he shot like 10 under the first round.
Yeah, AT&T. So he's in a little form. He's had a bunch of really good finishes. He hasn't missed a cut since January, so that's nice.
Yeah. None of these other guys really get me going. CT Pan's been playing really, really well. This is a course that fits him nicely. I don't know that I'll stake an outright on him, but he's definitely going to be considered for some derivatives and some matchups. Been playing like super, super good golf.
Reed, if you like the Kevin Kisner on non-long courses, right, the target golf, you could maybe talk yourself into that 80.
His form is just not good.
Right.
I'm going to bet Reed at 100 only because he's starting to trend a little bit better, and the Reed will just randomly win. And if I don't want to miss him, if he's at 100, I'll put a couple bucks down and move on. I'm not guaranteeing a win for Patrick Reed because it's not good, but it seems like he maybe switched clubs back. As soon as he switched to PXG, he went to shit. Sounded like he maybe at least took the PXG driver out of his bag last week. And he played a lot better. And if he can get the irons going, his putting and chipping is elite still. So,
yeah.
I'll just keep taking a chance on him at 100 on certain courses as long as he keeps playing decent golf. Denny's been trending really well. Obviously, he's one of those guys who can like kind of just carry himself with his putter, but he doesn't win ever. Stuart Sink at 130. I will be betting that. His week post major history is unbelievable. He has 5 wins the week after a major in his career. He has like 10 wins for his whole career. Like half of them the week after a major.
This year. Did he play good?
I don't know. That was RBC. I have no idea.
He got 68th.
But the other thing about Singh is he played well last week. Like it's not like he missed the cut. Like he was in the top 20, I think.
He played awesome.
So I hit him at 100 last year at RBC after the Masters, if you remember. So I'll probably throw a little bit on him at 130 and then maybe a top 20 because he has like 5 wins and like 5 other top 5s. Like it makes no sense. I don't really get it, but maybe it's just like a focus thing. Maybe he's like, I got my game like super ready for a major and now it's like still primed for the next week. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, when you get older, it probably takes a little longer to, get super, super prepared. So maybe
but he's been doing this 20 years.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe he's just like, hey, let's capitalize on me being like, maybe he takes some steroids or something. I don't know.
We can kind of fast forward through the rest of the
we're getting into some not good players.
In theory, Damon Fitz. I always am a simp for Damon, but I'm not going to bet any of these guys. Griot's been really good here. Just want to mention him. But we're getting into top 20 guys here. So let's
move on.
Let's talk some top 20s.
Okay.
I'm going back to no top 10s again, by the way. I will bet top 10s in majors when I can get good numbers on good players. Like JT, I got like 220 or whatever last week, but in these events, it ain't happening for me.
Okay. Abe at 160, he would be someone low that I would go for.
Definitely like that.
Harmon at 190. I wish that was 2-1, but it's not.
Finau plus 170.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I'm not going to bet him outright, but he's been super good here. He's trending definitely in the right direction. Hoagie plus 190, Woodland plus 180, kind of the same guys I talked about. Kirk, in that same range. Chris Kirk's 2-1 here. Hoagie's 250 on DraftKings, so that's even better. Munoz 2-1.
Yeah, Davis Reilly is at 190, so he's right now kind of these guys we talked about in that 80 to 100.
Yeah. CT Pan 3-1. He's been playing so good. And then it kind of gets into top 30, top 40 range for me down here. Sink top 20 is plus 350. That's pretty solid. Yeah, I don't want to go much lower because I'll just bet him top 40 maybe.
Yeah, anybody lower than that, you should maybe move on to the 30s and try to get like a 2-1 on that instead of a 4 to 5 to whatever.
So some top 40s. Griot 2-1. He hasn't been playing too bad, and his form here is super good.
Russell Knox could be one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Where is he at? I don't see his pricing anywhere. Your guy Ramey is 250.
I can't get him right, so I wouldn't follow me on him.
Let's look at the model here and see if anybody's weirdly popping up. Smotherman's still popping like crazy. I don't know what to do with that. He's lost me so much fucking money. It's stupid. He's back-to-back top 30s for him, though. I don't know, though.
Yeah, I feel like you bet him 100 times.
He's won the last two, though, clearly, because he went top 30. He's still popping high in the model. What's a Fleetwood top 20? You see a Fleetwood top 20 anywhere?
Well, I'm trying to look at Rivers' matchup. It doesn't look like they have anything posted.
Kurt Kitayama's still popping pretty high, but his putting is pretty bad, and he doesn't hit many fairways. Not sure this is a Kitayama course.
Fleetwood is 160.
It's not terrible.
What's going on with this?
Yeah, there's not a lot of guys way down there that I'm looking for in the top 40s this week.
Negative.
This field, it's kind of weird because I do want to see some putting chops from those guys down there a little bit.
Yeah, you can maybe
is priced pretty far down.
You can maybe reach for like a really good putter to finish well. Who would be one of those guys? Seabez,
Lucas Herbert,
Hostler, someone like that. You could maybe get
Denny.
Denny. Denny would be a perfect one actually because he's been playing okay.
Yeah, let's look at Denny. Denny's made a whole bunch of cuts in a row. He's only missed one cut this calendar year. So that's a decent. Maybe that's a decent like a DraftKings play, get you through the cut type of thing. And if he also hasn't lost strokes putting since January, which is fucking insane. But his tee to green is not good. It's hard to gain tee to green when you're like 5'6.5".
Yeah, it's not gonna help.
Let's look at some matchups.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. There's some good ones. Oh, we got the Fleetwood over HV3 fade for you.
I've been fading. I fade HV3 every single week. Basically, some weeks it works out, some weeks it doesn't. Last week I had Pereira over HV3, so that worked. But that one may make the card. Although Varner actually played decent last week.
Denny JJ Spawn's priced the same at -110. I don't hate that. It's pretty small juice if you like Denny.
I kind of like Spawn.
Okay.
He hit me 161 outright.
Morikawa and Spieth are both at 110. I'm going to take Morikawa. I'm writing that down.
I'll probably take Morikawa and is Spieth's putter just going to magically fix itself? I don't know.
Oh, if I bet against him, he'll win. So be prepared for that.
Finau plus money over Na. I know Na's been like good here, but Finau's floor is definitely higher. Na could WD at any point. That dude's unreliable as hell. Woodland over Tringali. You're a Tringali believer, but
I haven't bet him ever since I saw him in those cowboy boots.
Well, I imagine that's been good for you because I haven't seen his name on a fucking leaderboard.
He was like half-ass hurt though, so it's okay. It kind of made sense,
I guess. Let's go over to FanDuel here.
Spieth plus 120 over Justin Thomas. Like if someone wants to believe in
it. You just want to do like the JT doesn't give a fuck fade. Yeah, that's not terrible.
Colin plus 110 over Scotty.
Yeah, what do you think? I just looked at plus 112 on FanDuel.
I'm worried about betting over Scotty Scheffler.
I don't want to bet against Scotty Scheffler. I've been betting on Scotty Scheffler though.
Take the win over Spieth instead, I would say.
Yeah. Homa over Sungjae.
Ooh,
Homa's been playing really good, and Sungjae hasn't been playing. Although this is a Sungjae course.
Yeah, this is like Sungjae style.
Yeah.
I know we're not in like we're not
on Bermuda, but
we're not on Bermuda, but we're still in Texas, so it's like still kind of down there in the air. You know, it kind of gives them that south vibe.
Definitely.
Harman and Horschel, I would take Harman in that one.
Only thing that worries about me, I can't get Horschel right, but his putter is so good that he could potentially putt his ass to a pretty good finish here.
He could. Ooh, Webb is the price the same with Justin Rose. Justin Rose is a past performance guy here at this event, but I don't think he's been playing that well.
I fade the shit out of Justin Rose all the time, and it doesn't always work, but he's one of those guys that can just eject immediately. Oh. He starts like 3 over through 8, and it's like, I'm fucking done. I'll see you guys next week.
So he got 13th last week, so that's not great. But
yeah,
he missed 3 cuts in a row. He doesn't really play that much. Damn, he's only played like 6 events this year. Well, 7.
So I'm gonna, if I sort my model by salary and look at guys who aren't popping very high, for potential fades, Kokrak, he's not popping very high. He hasn't been playing that good of golf, and he might have a little like past history bump. So if you can find a decent matchup with him, Bubba already WD'd. Mav McNeely, his numbers aren't that great. He's so streaky. It's like it's kind of feast or famine with Mav. Ricky,
Kokrak is pretty good. Kokrak might be somebody we could bet on this week.
I just said to fade him about 10 seconds ago.
I know, so I'm saying that. That's what I was like, kind of like, ooh, be careful. He's been finishing pretty good.
Yeah, I guess his approach number last week is a bit of a kind of fucks him up a little bit. But I don't know. Two top 20s since February. That's not that good.
Made cuts, and he's won here. I'm not saying got to be careful with the fade on guys who are playing okay.
No, yeah, I get you. But most of these guys are playing pretty decent for the most part.
Yeah.
Morikawa popped first on my model. I'm probably going to bet him at
18. I'm betting him at 18, and then I'm going to go next with Abe at 40. So that's my start.
Those two are for sure for me. And honestly, I may just bet those two guys and grab maybe I'll just grab Homa at 29 and grab Woodland at 50 and call it good. Get some guys who've won. If you look at this field, if you look at the past winners, it's dudes who have 2 or 3 wins for the most part. At the very least, I can't remember any like super outlier wins. Have you?
No, Coke won like a bunch of events that one time.
Yeah, I mean, he won like 3 events in like 15 months.
Right. No, they're all pretty good.
Kisner won here. Justin Rose won here. Kevin Na, Berger, Spieth, Zach Johnson. It's been dudes who like know how to win golf tournaments and typically win a bunch. So that's probably where I'll lean. Guys who've won a few.
Yeah, starting with Colin Morikawa. I'm with you.
Yeah. It was a bit of a bummer. It wasn't a bummer, but it was a bummer that we finally missed a 1-2 stroke margin. But
yeah,
we'll take it for a JT dub any day.
The weeks that you don't hit the margin, you hit them outright. I mean, it's like, who cares? So we're back.
Those are the best kind of weeks.
Yeah, we're jumping back on the train, 1-stroke, 2-stroke. This event actually has had some larger than 1-stroke victories in it. So I like that this week. We had the playoff. That's fine. We'll wait for the next one to come in, hopefully a long time. We'll play the 1-stroke, 2-stroke, 250 and 350 as always.
What have been the winning scores here?
14, 15, and 13. The last 3.
Yeah. Which allows for some guys who can just kind of putt their way into it potentially. One thing I want to touch on. So we're 2 majors in, 2 majors left. Brookline for U.S. Open first, and I think like 3 weeks, right? 4 weeks, 3 tournaments, then Brookline. And then the Open at
Schwab Memorial, and then Canada, who Rory supposedly is going to go back and play, but he announced today.
He's the reigning champ, right?
Right.
Canada?
Yeah.
From like 2 years ago?
Yeah, when it was played. So, yeah, we got 4 more events, and then
so I'm looking – I got futures up. Zalatoris is 27.
I know, but
I know that's probably lower than what it was. But Zalatoris at 27, the dude, he's going to, if he keeps putting himself in the top 10 every time, eventually he's going to win one. And I think the U.S. Open is the one he can, like the one he's most likely to win because it's less, like his ball striking is so elite that it can kind of carry him at a U.S. Open.
What about Hovland at 25? Does that get better?
No. Hovland, until he gets a top 10 in a major, I'm out. Hovland's played just as many majors as Zalatoris, and Zalatoris has like 6 times as many top 10s.
I don't really like any of these numbers down here besides maybe Zalatoris. I mean, Burns at 35 is probably not going to get any worse.
Decky at 41.
Yeah, what's his deal? Is he hurt or not?
I can't tell. It came out like on I bet him, and then Wednesday morning it's like, oh, Decky's complaining about his neck. I'm like, well, fuck me, right? Like, what the hell?
I don't know what his deal was.
I don't know. I just think Zalatoris is priced worse than Cantlay, who has never even come close to winning a major, and the same as Fitzpatrick, who I kind of was thinking it was going to be him on Sunday, and then I watched him play, and I'm like, that dude's not fucking winning a major. You're not swinging like that, winning a fucking major. No way. His ball striking is not near good enough.
No.
Zalatoris is like, it's Morikawa, it's JT, and it's him ball striking wise.
Yeah, he would be a good one.
Scheffler and Rahm, obviously, Rory, when they're playing good, are in the same kind of category. But like, Zalatoris' combination of driver and irons is like, it's way, way, way up there. And he's obviously the majors get him going to another level.
Berger at 40 could potentially go down. If you believe in the Berger, is he going to win a U.S. Open? Probably not. But Zalatoris,
he shot 63 at the one Brooks won, and he was like, on Saturday, it was like so fucking hard. The greens were like literally like pavement, and he went out early. Him and Fleetwood both shot 63s or 64s, whatever it was, and like jumped all the way to the lead. No one else could make a birdie all day, and they like went out in the final group and just pissed their pants on Sunday.
Wow.
And obviously Brooks is Brooks, so
right.
But he's kind of shown it. Homa, like, it's nice to see him get around the hoop a little in a major. Clearly, he's like super duper fucking talented. He's got 4 wins in some decent fields. So 65, I mean, that's not horrible. He's priced the same price as Jason Day, who like can't play 4 rounds of golf.
Nope,
so,
you can't.
I just thought it was interesting to take a peek and kind of see.
Definitely don't get too low though, because those numbers moved a shit ton last week. Those top guys moved back, so don't be careful on maybe stick to that 30 to 50 range if you're going to take a guy.
Zalatoris is 33 for the Open at St. Andrews, where you can just nuke drivers.
There you go.
That's not. I mean, his Open Championship, like last year, he withdrew because he like got sand in his eye or whatever. But he was like 4 under through like 10 holes or whatever it was. He was playing really well.
I remember that. I forgot about that.
And remember, he was hurt like the 2 weeks before that for a different reason, and then he got sand in his eye and round 1 and had to withdraw.
Was that when he swung through the rough or whatever? Like hurt his back?
Yeah, he had a back injury.
Yeah, it was weird.
I don't know. Some interesting stuff out there. We got a big closeout game for the Warriors tonight.
Yeah, I think it just started, so we got to wrap this up and go watch it.
F1.
Monaco.
Tough week for my guy Charles.
He was really sucks
for sure. Like he was like, you can't say for sure because there were 20 laps in, but like it was kind of a wrap.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the odds now. Leclerc is minus 105 because this is the whole like you can't pass anybody at Monaco, right? If he just wins the qualifying, he'll be fine.
Right, and he keeps qualifying first like basically every week.
And isn't Leclerc like from Monaco? Like he's in like what do you call that? Montaguese?
Manganese, whatever the fuck it is. Mongus.
So this would be kind of him, but hey, if you like money, take Max Verstappen because he wins a lot of races.
He's every single race he's finished this year, he's won.
So just take him.
It's either he's got DNF twice, but he's won every other race.
Yeah, just take Max if you like money in your pocket.
Russell podium.
See, this sucks because I wanted to bet Russell podium last week and I didn't do it. Now it's going to jump way down.
Here's my argument for it. And it's not because I think he can qualify in the top 3. I think he can qualify 4th or 5th. But shit happens here. The walls are so tight you can wreck. Plus, both Red Bull and Ferrari have had engine troubles. Where Mercedes has been slow, but they've finished every fucking race at least. All he needs is like qualify 4th, have one person have an engine problem, and he gets 3rd, like last week, basically. So 2-1 isn't the greatest number in the world for a podium finish, but he's been kicking Lewis's ass, kind of.
Yeah, Lewis.
Granted, Lewis went off the track last week, but
yeah, he had a really impressive drive coming back all the way to 4th or whatever, 5th, whatever he finished. Maybe even George Russell's 20-1 to win. He would be maybe somebody too you might put in there to like, hey, if some chaos happens, maybe Max gets pissed off and starts, cussing out his people because the rear wing won't open again.
He was fucking hot. Yeah. He was like going to kill somebody. They're probably like, Jesus Christ, I hope he finishes this race.
Yeah, I would stay away from the Leclerc number and just be like, hey, I'm taking Max. Leclerc can prove it later.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to see if they had like championship props up anywhere. I don't see any. Oh, here's F1 futures. Leclerc's plus 165. Max is minus 165. I was hoping Max was closer to even.
Hold on, let me pull this up. Oh, 165 plus 165. Yeah. I assume Red Bull is like super low. Oh my God. Minus 165 for them to win constructors is not bad for like, they're going to for sure win that, right?
I don't think they're for sure going to win it, but I feel better about Max winning than Red Bull winning.
Oh, I'd be the other way. I would be the other way. Sergio's like clearly better than Carlos. So it's like.
He has been this season for sure. I don't know what Carlos's deal is with that car. He fucking went off. He spun out again. Although Max spun out, they both spun out in the same corner in like 1 lap.
I might take that Red Bull long. Like that's not bad for like.
They should let you parlay Max and Red Bull.
I assume they won't do that. No,
they will not let you do that. I don't know. It's going to be a qualifying as well. Are they doing a sprint race this week or no?
Unlikely.
I don't think so.
Unlikely, but I'll look. Hold on. I'll look at the times too. Hold
on. Qualifying is kind of the fun part about this week for the most part because once you get out in front, it's really, really difficult to pass.
Qualifying is at 9 a.m., races at 8 a.m., no sprint. Although a sprint would be weird here because like everybody would
be useless, kind of.
Everybody would just run in a row. Like they would all just kind of run around like a snake.
What they did, pretty much what they do every time in the fucking sprints. Nobody wants to wreck their car.
Yeah.
Basically, try your ass off for the first lap and then just kind of fall in and don't get past.
And Haas would have Schumacher permanently pitted because they don't want to lose $100,000 in car parts.
Yeah, $100,000. Yeah. Well, we'll see them this week. I definitely like Morikawa quite a bit. I like Homa. I wish he was at 38, something like that, 40. But if you win 4 times, I guess they got to price you that low.
Did you see that they were already kind of spoiling Jabari going number 1 today?
No, who did?
ESPN, I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was an ESPN article being it was quoted as if rival teams said that he's going number 1. It was just like them spoiling the draft pick a month in advance.
So I watched a video of him the other day, and it looked like Jason Tatum without the driving ability. Just the way he moves at the perimeter, the way he shoots and pulls up. I don't think he can get to the basket and finish the same way, but
yeah,
fucking good shooter, and he's humongous.
He's minus 180, so if you have money to spend, it'd be not bad little bet to put on because I don't know what. Let me look it up real quick.
I think, let's see here. The Celtics being plus 230 to win the title, I don't think is a terrible bet either, by the way.
No, that's not bad either.
Because if they get by the Heat, they are an unbelievable. They match up with the Warriors better than anybody in terms of they have Smart to guard Curry and they have big ass wings to kind of float around and muck shit up. The Warriors defense obviously really good, but they've kicked the shit out of the Warriors every time they've played them for the last 5, basically since they've had Tatum and Brown. So plus 230, it's only that high because they haven't finished off the Heat yet, and that's 2-2. But I don't know, if Butler's hobbled and Hero's hobbled, that's fucking uphill climb to say the least.
Yeah, I definitely like them because of their wing defense versus the Warriors, and how what's his name, Big Boy can match up with Looney. Looney won't be a problem there, and defensively, obviously, he'll be able to guard the basketball with Draymond and stuff like that. And they got guys who can guard on the perimeter, and that's all Golden State has. So, but I have this article pulled up here. It's an ESPN Insider article with Mike Schmitz, and he says rival NBA teams believe the Magic will select Jabari Smith, the number 1 overall pick. If you need that translated, that means he's going number 1. That's what that means. Yeah. So if you have money sitting around and you like just a little, pretty safe return, bet the 180 on Jabari. I don't know if I'll bet it yet. I don't know because I thought maybe accumulate some funds prior to the draft.
Would you rather bet Max to win the championship minus 165 or Jabari to go number 1 minus 180?
Jabari.
I'd bet Max.
Really? I think that's more of a constructor's thing than him.
The rival teams could be blowing fucking smoke just to stir shit up.
Yeah, no, I think that's more of him being I can't say he's going number 1, so I have to make something up to how Woj quotes those tweets
right, but we're a month out.
Yeah, it'll be next thing you know they'll be fucking spoiling it a year in advance, just like they always do.
All right, well, our cards will be out, and hopefully we can continue a pretty good run of betting.
Yeah, let's do a little more. Whoa, we haven't talked about one and done. Who are we using real quick?
Oh, that's a good question.
Can we use Morikawa? We're going to save him.
Already used him.
Majors.
Let's see here. I'm in 34th now, so I got to take it a little more seriously. I have Morikawa. I still have Morikawa.
Homa, Morikawa.
Homa's probably going to be pretty popular. He's 94% owned still, or still available. I honestly might take Morikawa because I still have a bunch. I still have Scheffler and Rahm and Spieth, Hovland. I still have some heavy hitters.
I might join you on that. I might do a little Morikawa also.
Maybe I can just make it all up in 2 weeks.
That'd be nice.
And then if you get in a pinch at the end, it's well, at least maybe you got lucky and you hit Morikawa to win. I was looking at people who have more than one win. There's really not that many in our group, and most of them almost every single one of them hit one of Scheffler's wins, which kind of sucks. He won 4 fucking times in 7 weeks, and we didn't hit a single one. So I hit one outright at on outright market, but not on one event.
Yeah, so we'll have to talk that over tonight. But I would say we're both kind of leaning with maybe possible more Cowie use.
Yeah, him or Homa for me, I think. All right. Well, that'll be it. We'll have our cards out and we'll be back next week.
Memorial Day this weekend, play a little golf ourselves, get out there a little bit. Monaco, it's going to be kind of fun this weekend. I'm excited.
Should be a good weekend.
Yep. See ya.
Peace out.